Welcome to Lesson 6, Week 5 of the Store Manager Academy. I'm going to share with you 5 secrets, corporate secrets that you may not be aware of that will absolutely help you with your career today, right now. These are secrets that are not known to many managers, and I didn't actually learn these things until I was on the other side, till I was in those corporate positions. When I was a DM, a regional manager, in the national office, as a trainer, as a merchandiser, a planner, these are things that I learned that just managers don't know. They don't know about. And if you knew these things, you would be very successful as a store manager, as a leader. So I'm going to get right to it. The first one is actually more obvious than you think, but your national office depends on you being successful. They need you to be successful as a store manager. They need you to be able to execute the merchandising programs and be able to execute these key initiatives. And if you're not successful at them, then they actually are put in the limelight. Not only are you put in the limelight, but they are as well. And many people lose their positions in the corporate office just not because of a bad program, but because managers didn't execute it properly. Because we're not hitting our revenue goals as a company, the executive team looks at those merchandisers, those planners, and everybody else that was involved in that process and spending millions of dollars on that product, which ultimately caused a multi-million-dollar loss to the company. They want you to be successful because they, in turn, are successful, and it makes them look good because they help put together that program. So that's secret number 1. Secret number 2, the field executive team does not like any key position to be vacant, ever. I'm talking about key positions in your store and key positions in the field. Store manager positions, assistant manager positions, district manager, area managers, and even corporate positions in the corporate office. Those key positions, they absolutely dread being vacant. And it starts with the key positions in your store and works all the way up to the corporate office. If any of those positions are vacant, it drives the executive team absolutely nuts. And they put all their focus on filling in those positions. And sometimes they put people in those positions that aren't ready for them. That's where you can actually take advantage of this unique position where these executive members just don't want those seats vacant, ever. If you knew that, you can absolutely get yourself promoted into these vacant seats, even if you're not the most qualified for them. I can tell you, I got put into more positions that I thought I wasn't qualified for because of this secret, because the executive team does not like those vacant positions. So if you've put yourself in a spot where you're being considered for that position, sometimes you might be the only one that is on their radar. And guess what? That means you are going to get that job. More cases than not, if you're the only person on that radar, even though you're not the most qualified person, you can be put in that position just because of this secret, just because people don't like, these executives do not like these key positions empty. You also need to look at your own store. Do you have departments? Do you have lower management levels in your store? Most of you do. If they become vacant, the limelight is now being shined on you in a bad way because they look at your store sales. If you're not performing at a certain level and you have some key positions or even one key position vacant, they will blame you for the store failing because you don't have those key positions filled. So you need to be able to use this information not only to promote yourself and promote your career, but to actually make sure your store always has that spot filled. I've sometimes had to put someone that wasn't qualified into that position just so I'm not in that limelight, just because they're not yelling at me, because my sales are down, and it's because I don't have that position filled, even though that wasn't necessarily the case. And again, that happens at the national level. They're putting people in that may not be so qualified because they don't want that position to be vacant. You can use that to your advantage, but it starts in your store. Make sure all your key positions are always filled. And it goes back to recruiting and retention and building a base, building a bench of people that can quickly go into those positions and be trained and ready for them, so you're not putting the less qualified or the non-qualified person into that position just to fill that vacant seat. But you need to make sure those vacant positions are always filled. Make that a priority. Trust me on this one. Learn from someone that's been in your shoes and the national office shoes and corporate position shoes. As a DM, as a regional, we do not like vacant positions, period, ever. So make sure your positions are always filled. Now, secret number 3, KPIs, key performance indicators, are the religion to the corporate office. Those key performance indicators that you're being measured on, where you have that dashboard where you've got some of your metrics in green, some in yellow, some in gray, and some in red, that is the religion of any corporation, any national company, even small regional companies. That is their religion. That is what they go by. You're either great, either you're average, or you're below average. You're somebody that they're looking at to replace. That is it. You're just a number. You're a store. Until you stand out in a good way, which we're going to talk about, you're just a store number. You're store 5628, 5628. That's who you are. And either you're either a good store, you're in the green, either you're an average store, or you're a bottom feeder. And that's it. I know it's sad, but that is the religion of these corporate offices. They are looking at every metric. That's how you measure your business, right? You have metrics to measure your business, to improve your business, to always be growing. If you're not growing, you're dying. And so every position within the corporate office is measuring the numbers that are in their department. And where do those numbers come from? Each store, from your store. So you are just a store number to them at that point until you've really made a name for yourself in a good way. So you have to understand that KPIs are the religion of any organization, and you need to make sure you have a strong focus on hitting your metrics. And you will hit your metrics if you focus on them one by one, get your team behind them, and you build a culture of people that are always driving those metrics, that are always improving just like you are every single day. People that are focused on those KPIs and making sure they're being improved every day, making sure we're always in the green, at the minimum in the gray, never in the yellow or the red, right? You've got to build your culture around those KPIs. And it's difficult. It's a difficult pill to swallow sometimes because you have your own KPIs. I always had my own KPIs. But you have to understand they need to align with the company. Whatever your company's focusing on that time, whatever initiative, you've got to get behind it. You've got it, especially if it's a measured initiative. Any initiative that's being measured is one that you'll need to focus on, and you need to make sure you're the best store. Even if it fails as an initiative, you can at least be the best store out of that initiative. So they can look at you and go, wow, even though the rest of the company failed on this, you still performed better than anybody else. And that's because you have a great team that works for you. You know how to lead people. You know how to get the best out of them. And you have a well-merchandised store that's driven, that's focused on customer service, focused on merchandising excellence, focused on selling. You're going to make a name for yourself. Even if one initiative fails, you still need to be the number one store in that failure. Does that make sense? Focus on the KPIs. Once you realize it's a religion of any business, you can maximize on that and be very successful and make a name for yourself. Okay, secret number 4. People that speak their mind in a professional way, that show numbers and actually have a plan to make a good change will get noticed and promoted. You need to be passionate. You need to speak your mind in a good way, okay? Even if it's a negative subject, you need to be professional at all times. You need to show the numbers. If you're going to complain about a problem, people that actually have a real solution to that problem and talk about it and ask for permission to roll it out, those people get noticed. I can't tell you how many managers that that just don't, that I've managed myself, that I've met, that I've worked with, that don't speak their mind. They just kind of like, they're yes men. They just go along with whatever, or maybe they just don't. They just kind of stay below the radar. They don't get noticed. They don't get promoted. They don't make fat bonuses. They don't receive these pay increases. They're not considered for those promotions. People that speak their mind in a professional way, not the negative way. You know those people that are really negative and they speak their mind about it 24/7. That's not the type of person I'm talking about. I'm talking about someone that is very professional, that knows their numbers, knows their business, and will show you how they're going to get it done the right way. They have a plan to success, and they ask if they can be trusted with that plan so they can show you their numbers. Those type of people get noticed. Those type of people get promoted. That is a secret that is not well known, that you can utilize for your success as a manager to help you get to where you want to be in your career, to help you build a high performance team, to help you run a profitable store. Secret number 5, the last secret: people will take credit for your idea if you don't. It's kind of a crappy secret, to be honest, and you probably know this. How many times has your boss taken credit for what you did? How many times has your boss's boss? How many times has someone in the corporate office that you don't even know took credit for your program, your idea? I every time I was in the corporate office, I would see this, these merchandisers, these planners, and they'd be, they would just be getting praise from somebody in the executive team for doing a good job, and then come to find out it wasn't even because of their program. It was because this store manager made it successful, and then they saw what that manager was doing, they made the adjustments, and it was a huge success, but they never credited that manager. Isn't that sad? People take credit for your ideas if you don't. That's why you need to be vocal. You need to be passionate in a positive way. That's why you need to follow up. When you have a good idea and you're measuring it and you see it's actually working, you need to be vocal about it. You need to talk to your DM. You need to go one step further and talk to the department managers that are in the corporate office for that product that you were having a wild success. You need to say, hey, this is what I did. It was a huge success. Here's some pictures. You copy your DM on it. So now there's more than one person that knows it was your idea. That's really key in all of this, for people to not take credit for your idea. If you have more than one person involved in knowing that was your idea and that you executed it, then they're going to give you the credit. But if you don't have more than one person that knows about that idea that actually matters, then more than likely someone's going to take credit for your idea. We all wish that wouldn't happen, but it does happen. It happens all the time, and there's really great ideas that you and your team have that are not being given to you. And so when you're trying to get promoted to a corporate position, nobody knows that you came up with all these revenue, profit-driven ideas that actually worked. Nobody knows about them because it was that team that did it, not you. You just executed it. What are you talking about? They'll never know unless you're vocal, unless you're taking pictures, unless you're sending it to the merchandising team, sending it to your boss, because then they're going to start blowing it up, and then your boss is going to go, hey, look what Steven did for this program. It was a huge success. I want everyone, here's the pictures, I want everyone in the district to do it. And then that district manager showing the regional manager, check out what my store manager did. Isn't this huge? And then I rolled it out to all my store managers, and they're crushing it. And now the regional manager is sending that to all their DMs and saying, check out what this DM, his team, look what they did. This was Steven's idea, store manager at 9622. They crushed it. Now the district's crushing it. I want all of you to do it. And now everybody knows about the program. They know it was you, and you are going to make a name for yourself. That's going to help you really be in in the good limelight for with the regional manager, with the buyers, with the corporate office, with the executives. They're going to remember what you did and how it had an impact on the whole organization. And that's how you're going to have a quick promotion to DM, to the corporate office, and so on. Those are the 5 corporate secrets that I wanted to share with you today that I know from experience and from the experience of many other managers that if you learn these secrets, if you apply them, you will be successful as a store manager. You will build a high-performance team and run a profitable store. You'll receive the promotions that you're working towards and the bonuses and pay raises that you deserve. Thank you for watching this lesson. We have 1 lesson left in week 5, and then you will graduate. You'll receive your graduation certificate. You'll have that certificate as well, the code for your LinkedIn profile, and you'll be able to use that to help you further gain your momentum in your career, help you receive those promotions and pay raises. And then after you've watched the next lesson, the last lesson, which is really a transition to store manager or multi-unit manager, or transition from store manager to multi-unit manager, or even a corporate position, make sure you go into the bonus section where we have new content added on a regular basis. When I get a question emailed in from one of the managers in the course, I'll see if it's a good topic that we can actually make a strong lesson on it that you can go and then watch in the bonus section. Sometimes I'll get multiple managers that are asking the same question. I go, you know what? That's a great training topic I'm going to do a course on. So always check back daily for the bonus section for new content being uploaded. And don't forget about our weekly conference calls where if you have a specific question, maybe you maybe have a boss that you're just not getting along with, and they are basically putting up a wall against your promotion. How do you handle that? What should you do? And I will answer your question directly, and I'll see if we can't get you on the line so we can talk back and forth. If you have any unique situation that you're in, if there's any problem that you're facing that it can't be addressed through this training, you can ask those questions on our weekly conference call and get answers to help you further your progress, to help you further your career. Thank you for watching this lesson. I'll see you on the lesson 7, the last lesson of the Store Manager Academy. Again, congratulations on your efforts and spending time to go through this academy. Look forward to seeing you on the next lesson and in the bonus modules and weekly on our conference calls. Thank you.